Last night, I dreamt I went to Manderley again.
Good afternoon, madam.
It's a pleasure to meet you, Mrs. Danvers.
Thank you, madam. I and all the staff at Manderley are at your disposal.
I hadn't realised the house was quite so big.
Yes, Manderley is a big house. Not as big as some, of course.
Sorry to keep you waiting, Mrs. Danvers.
It's for you to make your own time, madam. It's this way.
I've been told you've been redecorating. Oh, Miss Danvers, it's charming.
I trust I carried out Mr. De Winter's orders.
But you can't see the sea from here.
No, not from this wing. Can't hear it either, not from this wing. But Mr. De Winter said you were to have this room. He thought you'd prefer it.
So this wasn't his bedroom before?
No. When Mrs. De Winter was alive, they lived in the west wing, in the most beautiful room in the house, looking down to the sea.
I hope we'll be friends and come to understand each other, Mrs. Danvers. You must have patience with me. This life, it's new to me, but I want to make a success of it, and to make Mr. De Winter happy.
I trust I'll do everything to your satisfaction, madam.
I'm sure you will. I don't want to make any changes at all.
Can you tell me when to expect your maid, madam? Do you require one?
I don't know. I hadn't thought about it.
'Tis usual for ladies in your position.
Perhaps you'd look into it for me. Maybe some young girl wanting to train?
It's for you to say, madam.
Thank you, Mrs. Danvers. Yes? Who is it?
Mrs. De Winter?
I'm afraid you've made a mistake. Mrs. De Winter's been dead over a year.
It's Mrs. Danvers, madam. Speaking to you on the house telephone. I wondered if you'd approve the menus for today.
I'm sure I can.
They're on the blotter in front of you on the desk.
Ah, I see. Very suitable. Very nice indeed.
Thank you, madam. What are you doing here, madam? Can I help you?
I lost my way.
Do you want me to show you these rooms? This is the west wing. You can, of course, see wherever you wish. You've only to ask. I thought you should know your guests have arrived. Shall I show you back to your side of the house?
There's no need. I'll find my own way.
Is anything the matter, madam? Are you unwell?
I'm quite all right. I noticed from the garden that these shutters were open.
You wanted to see her rooms, didn't you? Of course you did. You've been wanting to see them for a long time now, haven't you? Well, now you're here, let me show you. It's a beautiful bed, isn't it? You've been touching her nightdress. The scent is still fresh, isn't it? You could almost imagine she'd only just taken it off. I keep everything just as it was the night she never came back, waiting for her just as it always was. The night she died, the rocks had battered her body to bits. Her beautiful face. Mr. De Winter identified the body. He insisted.
Please.
So now you know why he never comes here anymore. Listen. Can you hear the sea? Never. Not since the night she drowned. No one ever comes here except me. Wouldn't think she was dead, would you? I feel her everywhere. So do you, don't you? I hear her footsteps behind me. The sound of her dress on the stairs going down to dinner. Do you think the dead come back and watch the living? Do you think she's watching us now?
No. I don't know. I can't help being shy. Every time I go out or meet someone new, I do try, but I've not been brought up to it. I suppose that's why he married me. He knew I was dull and inexperienced. There'd never be any gossip about me.
What do you mean?
I don't know, it just came into my head.
You are not Rebecca. You should never have come to Manderley. Deciding what to wear to the ball, madam?
Nothing seems quite suitable, Mrs. Danvers.
Oh, I wonder you don't copy one of Manderley's own pictures from the gallery.
I hadn't thought of that.
It's not for me to say, of course, madam, but if you'll permit, I recall how much you admired the portrait of the young lady, all in white.
Yes. Yes, I do. What a wonderful idea. I'll have to get a wig, of course, to match the costume.
Oh, I know some excellent shops in London that can help with all that sort of thing.
And we'll have to keep it a secret to surprise Mr. De Winter.
Oh, I think I know how to keep a secret, madam.
And of course, costume was a terrible mistake. How foolishly excited I was standing at the top of the stairs, staring down at Maxim with a proud smile. He looked at me in shock and shouted at me. Go and change before anyone comes. Doesn't matter what you wear now. Anything will do. Well, why are you standing there? Didn't you hear what I said? So it turns out, the costume I had copied was exactly what Rebecca had worn to the last dress ball. Identical. And for one ghastly moment, he thought she'd come back to haunt him. And he thought it was deliberate, because I said I'd surprise him. So after the ball, I went to him and I said, let's stop pretending. You don't love me. You love Rebecca. You think about her night and day, Rebecca, Rebecca, Rebecca. about it that I love you. What kind of love is that to you? Like a child, a pet dog. You want something I can't give you what you had with Rebecca. You belong with her. She's here. All around me. But I am not Rebecca. You've done what you wanted, haven't you, Mrs. Danvers? Are you happy now? You made me wear that dress last night. You did it just to spite Mr. De Winter. Do you really think his suffering can bring Rebecca back again?
What do I care about his suffering? He never cared about mine. What do you think I felt watching you take her place, walk in her footsteps, touch the things that were hers, and all the time my Mrs. De Winter lying forgotten in the church crypt? Well, he's paying for it now, isn't he? He's made his own hell and he's no one to thank but himself.
It isn't true. We were happy together.
On your honeymoon? He's a man, isn't he? Of course he enjoyed himself.
How dare you speak to me like that, Mrs. Danvers? You're ill. You need to rest or see a doctor.
Leave me alone.
You must stop this.
And he was mad about her, like every man who ever saw her once, and so jealous. He still is.
I won't listen.
It's no use, is it? You'll never get the better of her. Even if she is dead, she's still the mistress here. She's still the real Mrs. De Winter. Why don't you leave Manderley to her? It's you who should be dead. Why don't you jump? Go on. Don't be afraid. It's for the best.
No. I am Mrs. De Winter now.